You talk about, and just to circle back to multitasking, not performing as well, with fragmented attention. You talk about productive activity versus productivity.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
So this is from Erich Fromm, who was a mid-20th century intellectual. And he defined productive activity is working on meaningful projects that align with your values with real deep concentration and respect for the craft.
Mm-hmm.
And productivity has often taken on a definition of just like getting stuff done, crossing stuff off, like being productive, just getting stuff done.
Yeah.
And I think that we'd be wise to focus on productive activity as much or more than productivity, and to ask yourself, like, am I just in a get stuff done cycle, or am I actually working on stuff that is meaningful to me, that I value?
So what you talk about, and I think what he talks about is, productive activity is sort of when you reach a sort of a flow state, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where time flies by, right? You feel that what you're doing, you lose your sense of being a little bit. Do you feel that like if you do activities where you enter the flow state, that's sort of a feedback for you that this is what I need to be doing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no better feeling.
Chase that, right?
Right, like that's the thing to chase.
Yeah.
100%. Those experiences where your sense of self kind of dissolves, those are the experiences that like really make life, to me, like meaningful and give so much texture to life. For me, it's in writing, and it's in conversation like this, and being in community, and it's sometimes in sport.
Yeah. What I'm gathering from the
let me give you one like little metaphor, because I assume there's going to be people that watch and listen to this that are into athletics. So Joseph Campbell is the world's foremost expert on myth and mythology. He recently passed away, and he was known in the 60s for this whole saying, like, follow your bliss, which is like, get into a flow state. And he studied all these like intense spiritual traditions and ayahuasca trips and psychedelics and deep meditation, and from Native American cultures to Greco-Roman to Buddhist to Taoist. And he was asked in this interview on PBS by Bill Moyers if he's ever had a peak experience. He's like, I've been very fortunate to like have like reached the depths and had a peak experience. And guess what it was? It was running a 400 workout on a track.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And what he said is like, he traveled the world and done all this work with these shamans and like all this. And for him, peak experience came during sport. And as a junkie of sport, I actually think like that to me is like the most, if you can have those moments in sport where it all just melts away and it's just you in the game, that's the best part of sport.
Yeah. I think you mentioned meditation. I feel like running for me is a meditation. Like
a lot of people say that.
3.5 mile run,
away.
Just like run and just think.
Yeah. Or think until like thinking stops, and then you're just there.
Right. Yeah. That's excellent. Even psychedelics, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what Joseph Campbell's experience of psychedelics was, but I do know that he said that his peak experiences came through interval training.
Interesting. Yeah.
Which makes sense, because like the brain kind of like eventually it just turns off, and like you're just running the intervals.
Right. Yeah.